What's going on, guys? Welcome to another Battlefield 3 Showdown, and today we're going to be showcasing two LMGs from the same lineage, the 240B versus the M249. They have very different characteristics, so today should be a pretty awesome showdown. But last week we did the MP412, the Rex versus the 44 Magnum, and in the Facebook polls, the Rex definitely got the edge, and in the comments it also seemed to be the favorite. However, there were a great deal of people who preferred the 44 Magnum over the Rex, but I think the Rex definitely got the edge in that one. So if you want to be a part in the voting this week, be sure to click the link in the description at the end of this video. That'll take you to the Facebook poll where you can vote on the 240B or the M249 based on what you see in this video or your experiences with each weapon. But the M249 is a very strange weapon to me. I did not like it on the console at all. I really felt like it was really hard to kill people, that it took forever to take out enemies. But then I picked it up on PC, and I discovered that it really benefits from the fact that the PC has better hit detection than the console, because this is a more precise weapon. The 249 is a high rate of fire, low recoil, low damage weapon, so it's really precise, where the 240B kind of is the opposite end of the spectrum. It does higher damage, but it has more recoil and a slower rate of fire. So the 249 is going to shoot around 800 rounds per minute, so pretty fast for an LMG, and it's also going to do 25 damage, where it drops off to a 17 damage weapon at range. So there's a pretty big drop off there, so it's going to take a lot of shots at range. But the fact that it shoots so quickly and has really low recoil really makes it a prime candidate for the Bipod, because the Bipod basically makes it so that you can, if you aim at someone, they're going to die. As you can see me putting in some good Bipod work here, I found that the Bipod is honestly my preferred attachment over any kind of grip. I do like the red dot sight, but I found that the iron sights on the 249 are acceptable. I found that they're not really that bad. Where the 240B's iron sights are a little bit obstructive, I found they're a little bit hard to aim with, but they're almost the same. It just the 240B kind of has a more fat ghost ring on it, so it makes it a little bit harder to pick up targets to your left and right. But it really just comes down to personal preference. Obviously, you could put a red dot sight on either of these, and you really wouldn't notice much difference because red dot sights are pretty much the same throughout the game. But the 240B, now it fires at 750 rounds per minute, so it's 50 rounds per minute slower than the 249, but it also does 30 damage and 20 at range, so it's 5 damage more on one end and 3 damage more at the low end. So it's a substantial amount more if you're a high damage type guy. If you prefer a weapon that shoots a little bit more wildly but does more damage up close. I know some people prefer high damage weapons versus weapons like the FAMAS that don't do a lot of damage but shoot really quickly. The 240B is definitely going to be the way you want to go, because comboed with the fact that it does more damage, it has a lot of recoil. As you see there, you really have to burst fire this thing. I found that it's really hard to take out targets at range. You're going to see how much I struggle just to hit those snipers, because these iron sights are a little bit obtrusive. They're a little bit hard to get used to, but once you do get used to it, the 240B can be a very, very deadly weapon because it does do so much damage. I found that if you bipod up a 240B in a high traffic area, you're going to get and you get a lot of traffic, you're going to get a lot of kills. Extended mags are going to be your friends on either of these. I love extended mags, especially with the bipod, because it gives you a reason to not have to reload, and that's really important to me. Because reloading is really slow. I mean, all LMGs have slow reloads except maybe the M27. That's just the nature of an LMG. An LMG has slow reloads just because you have to pull the belts in there, and it just takes a long time. So far as ease of use, I definitely think the M249 gets the edge. I think that it just is the more usable weapon. I feel like I can approach a game a lot better with the 249 than I can with the 240B, but I can definitely see why people would prefer the 240B. In the right hands, the 240B can be so deadly. I've seen people put up monster games with this thing, but I know a lot of people who are huge fans of the 249. I personally am going to give my edge to the 249. Considering that I used to hate the 249, that's saying a lot, because I used to just diss it all the time on the console, but I found that the hit detection is a little bit more on par on the PC, so it makes the 249 a really strong weapon, especially when you bipod it up on like Metro. I don't know, it's just ease of use. 249, if you want a weapon that's a little bit more challenging but has the higher potential to kill faster, definitely try out the 240B. Now, I found that the 240B benefits a little bit more from the grip than the M249. The M249 doesn't really, gain a whole lot because it already has such low recoil that the grip doesn't really do a whole lot for it. The 240 though has a lot of upward and sideways recoil, so the grip kind of keeps it from being so wild. It allows you to stay on target a little bit easier. You see how hard it is just to take out single opponents at long range, but the 240B can do work up close and bipod it down, so don't underestimate it. Just because it looks like it is a little bit wild, it is worth being able to tame. It's kind of like a wild stallion that you need to teach a lesson. You gotta teach it to be a beautiful horse, and that was a really bad analogy, but the 240B is basically like that weapon that you're just trying to get better with, and once you do get better with it, it's totally worth it because it is a good weapon. It's just really hard to control, where the 249 is a little bit more tame. It's a little bit easier to stay on target, and I just found that the high rate of fire suits my personal playstyle a little bit better. So let me know what you guys think. Be sure to vote in the poll this week, and also let me know what weapons you guys might like to see next. There's been a lot of comments on wanting to see some personal defense weapons, so I decided that next week we're going to do the MP7 because Shadow wanted to see some PDWs or PDWR, so I think maybe we'll do the MP7 versus the PDWR, or maybe the P90, but I'm not really sure which one we'll do. For sure the MP7, but let me know what you guys like to see, and I will be sure to get that in a future episode. But last week we did the Rex versus the 44 Magnum if you missed it, and we also did the M416 versus the M16A3. So if you missed either of those episodes, now is your chance to catch up. And as always, I'm going to remind you guys to be sure to vote in the Facebook poll and subscribe and leave a good rating on this video, and I will see you guys